Alright guys, and we're back in the lab, day 2, about to get some more work done to the M3. We did have some minor setbacks on the previous day trying to remove the rear bumper, so today we're going to go ahead and try to get that off, and we have some more other things that we need to address. So hopefully we can make some significant progress today and hopefully get some more things done.
So we finally were able to release one side of the bumper. Show you guys kind of what we're working with. On the E9Xs, the rear bumper is held in by the series of clips. I don't know if this is by design, but the way BMW designed this bumper was pretty dumb in my opinion, because honestly it's very difficult to remove this section without breaking any of these clips. We only broke one so far, so luckily we are able to save the rest of them, but they're just held in by these hooks underneath, and you pretty much have to lift up and out. Now we weren't able to do that pretty easy, so we ended up using a series of tools. We actually have a trim tool that we use as well to access these clips, and we came from underneath also. So we removed the whole fender liner, and then you can kind of see them underneath there, so we're able to get underneath the car. But if you guys are going to tackle this, just be careful with these clips. It's going to take some time, but that should pretty much be it. So now we're going to move on to the other side and then release those.
And then the center trim right here.
Yeah, and then the clips right here, and then this bumper should come right off. So let's go do that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, surprise!
Alright, so the bumper is finally off. We were able to kind of tackle the culprit. Again, these clips on the side, and especially this one right here. The way it's kind of designed, it doesn't make it easy for you to take it out. You kind of have to separate it in this groove. But happily, we're able to finally get it taken care of. Going on to the next step right now, which is going to be what, Mark?
Now we're going to go to the front to finish up a few things with the cross member, and then from there we might go ahead and swap the control arms, but we'll see how far we get for the front end stuff.
Alright, so now we're going to retackle that small issue we had with the carbon fiber front strut bar. Gonna have to drill out this rivet. Shouldn't be hard at all. Oh, Peter here. Safety first, goggles.
Very expensive goggles. Let's see how we're gonna do on this guy. Well, you're doing a nice shaping on the edge of that.
Yeah, alright.
I think it's off. Voila. 2 more to go.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so what we're looking at now?
We got the rivets for the brace drilled out, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of some of the additional damage that we're working with here. It seems as if when the oil cooler at the front impact, it bent this bracket here. We actually have a replacement bracket for this, so we'll be installing that, but there are a few pieces that are broken here, like this plastic shroud, and you can kind of see that it pushed it back a little bit. Judging on the looks of it, everything still seems to be straight, so I'm hoping that once we remove the brace and swap this bracket, we should be able to get a better view. But let's go ahead and do that now and then see what we're working with. So that's a pretty good breaking point right now. We learned a lot about the front end. What we discovered is that it is still slightly off, but just by a few millimeters, and we suspect that this front core support we feel like is the main culprit, because based on where the screws are, we think that's really what's causing the issue. And there are a few pieces to the core support that are broken, so we probably will end up replacing that in the future. But regardless, that is good news so far, because obviously nobody wants there to be any excessive damage, you know, in regarding to the frame or anything else like that. So that's still good news. But for right now, I think what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and remove this driver's side front fender and then probably tackle a few of the arms. I don't know if we'll be able to finish all of them in this video, but we'll see how far we get. Alright, so we just took off the front fender, and I'm glad we did, because we're able to see further on the inside of the fender. We did notice after removing it that there is a slight kink in the driver's side rail here, so we're gonna have to take that out. Luckily for us, this is pretty minor on a scale of 1 to 10, but actually I referred to my uncle and he said that this should be a pretty easy job to take care of, so we'll definitely need to tackle that before we start the reassembly. So I think for now, let's go ahead and go underneath the car and see how many arms we can replace, and then take it from there. So before we go ahead and tackle the arms, I do want to give you guys a first look of underneath the vehicle. Now, when we first purchased the car, we did discover pretty much the highlight of all the damage that's going on with the car, and that's really what's going on underneath. So underneath, if you guys can see, there is some damage to the oil pan. What? Now,
It's kind of hole in it.
yeah, okay, there is a hole in the oil pan, yes. Now this, usually for this type of damage, personally we usually like to stay away from, because you never really know what the circumstances are when this type of damage happens to a vehicle. But the good thing for us is that when we did receive the car, I was able to get in contact with the first or the last two previous owners, so they pretty much gave me the entire rundown in terms of what happened to cause this, and I'll probably share that with you guys in a different video, going over pretty much everything about the car and its history. But for now, they pretty much explained to me the entire situation, and they gave me some good insights, which is why I do feel confident that we are going to be able to salvage this oil pan, or not the oil pan but the engine itself. We do have a replacement oil pan for this, so we will be tackling the rod bearings when we go to replace that, but that's probably going to be in a separate video after we tackle the main things that we're focusing on now. Yeah, and there still is oil dripping out, so that alone gives me some confidence with this whole job. But this in itself is already a big task, because we need to remove the subframe and all of that, but we will be doing pretty much a full overhaul underneath the car. We have pretty much everything brand new. We have all the control arms that are brand new. We have a replacement subframe that's gonna be brand new. This one is still in good condition, but there are some issues that I noticed in this area here, and also where the sway bar mounts, the bracket itself broke off. But we have brand new OEM replacement parts, so we'll be tackling that one at a time. So we'll take you guys pretty much through that entire process. Let's go ahead and tackle the arms. Probably gonna work on this side. I'm not sure if we'll do the tie rod yet because we might be doing some work on the subframe, so we'll have to take that off. But for now, we'll probably go ahead and start on the control arms and then go from there.
Alright, so these are all the arms that we're going to be replacing right now. We got them brand new, genuine from BMW. You have the front tension arm right here, the upper wishbone arm, the tie rod end. We have some sway bar end links. Pretty much the entire suspension refresh. Now most of these arms are made by TRW, as you guys can see right here. This is the company that manufactures it. Now we got them directly from BMW. The only difference with the TRW versions and this is pretty much the BMW logo that's stamped on it. Other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. Now normally the TRW versions would be a little bit more affordable, but they're currently on back order, so we just went ahead and got the BMW ones instead. But overall, pretty much this is everything that we're going to be doing right now. Mark is currently just getting everything prepped. We're going to take off the old arms and put the new ones in. Alright, so I just want to show you guys the wishbone arm side by side. This is showing you a lot of play in the ball joint versus the new one, no play. So very sturdy. It definitely needed to be changed regardless, even if it didn't have the damage. And
I don't necessarily think it's bent.
It does have the scuff mark. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in right now. Again, should be fairly easy, just as how we took it out. You're gonna need a,
I think it was a 21.
Yeah.
And then 18s
on this
both
side.
sides.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, so we think we're just gonna wrap up here. We decided to pause on the control arm because we did feel some resistance going back in, and we do plan to change the subframe next, so it's kind of pointless for us to keep going. I didn't want to hammer this in for another 10 minutes, so we're gonna change the subframe next. So let's just do that probably on the next episode, get all the suspension arms in, and then the car should be ready for the next step, which we will fill you guys in on what that is. So stay tuned for that, and that's pretty much it. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and as always, stay tuned for the build. We have more crazy stuff happening for this car, so just stay tuned and we'll see you guys next time. We out.